What really happens when federal investigators start pulling threads inside one of the most powerful sports brands in the world? Sometimes, the truth that spills out explains years of confusion, silence, and decisions that never quite made sense to fans. That's exactly what's happening right now with Nike, as federal authorities take a hard look at how the company made its athlete promotion decisions, including why Caitlin Clark's signature shoe was quietly delayed while other athletes appear to receive immediate, full-scale marketing support. According to publicly reported court filings, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is seeking to enforce a federal subpoena.
Nike is being investigated by the federal government over its DEI policies. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission wants the court to enforce
the investigation
that issued to Nike as it pursues allegations that the apparel giant discriminates against white workers.
Business decisions in ways that may have disadvantaged certain employees and partners. What makes this especially explosive in the sports world is that the subpoena allegedly includes internal data tied not just to corporate staff, but also to athlete endorsements and marketing allocations going back to 2018. That revelation alone sent shockwaves through the industry. Nike, like many major corporations, reportedly tracked demographic data across a wide range of decisions. According to filings and reporting, this included how resources were allocated, how leadership opportunities were distributed, and how public-facing campaigns were prioritized. While companies often frame this as accountability and...
We talked about this with the WNBA and their treatment of Caitlin Clark. Now Nike finds themselves in the crosshairs. Nike is being investigated by the federal government over allegations of systemic race discrimination against white workers, including through its DEI initiatives.
Critics argue that it raises uncomfortable questions about whether performance and market demand were sometimes secondary to internal representation goals. For years, fans kept asking the same question. How can an athlete like Caitlin Clark dominate headlines, sell out arenas, and drive historic television numbers, yet receive relatively muted marketing support from the world's biggest sportswear company during the peak of her rise? There were no signature commercials, no major apparel push, no aggressive branding campaign during moments when her popularity was clearly exploding. Meanwhile, other launches moved quickly with massive promotional budgets and prime retail placement. As reported, federal investigators are now examining whether internal policies influence those decisions. Documents referenced in court filings allegedly show that Nike evaluated endorsement and promotion strategies using demographic data alongside traditional business metrics. Emails and internal discussions reportedly focused not just on performance or engagement, but also on maintaining certain brand narratives.
Marketability.
Federal agency seeks court order for information related to systemic race discrimination allegations that athletic footwear and apparel giant discriminated against white workers, including via Nike's DEI programs. St. Louis. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission announced today that the federal agency filed an action in federal court to compel Nike to produce information related to allegations that the company discriminated against white workers, including as a result of Nike's diversity, equity, and inclusion related 2025 targets and other DEI-related objectives.
Investigators are reportedly reviewing whether this approach resulted in delayed campaigns for some athletes, while accelerating others. This context sheds new light on what happened during Clark's rookie season, when fans openly questioned Nike's silence. Clark was everywhere in sports culture, breaking viewership records, driving unprecedented attention to women's basketball, and pulling in fans who had never watched the sport before. Yet Nike's response appeared cautious, almost hesitant, as if the company was waiting rather than capitalizing on the moment. Now, fast forward to the present, and the shift couldn't be more dramatic. As federal scrutiny intensifies, Nike has pivoted hard. Clark is reportedly spending extended time at Nike headquarters, working directly with elite designers and engineers. This isn't a ceremonial visit or a...
Caitlin Clark went crazy her rookie season. A question we all were asking ourselves where's Nike during this? Why isn't there any promotion from Nike during this? No marketing, no commercial. What's going on? No t-shirts, no merch. What's happening? No signature line yet? Can somebody fill me in?
The federal opportunity. By her own accounts, she's deeply involved in the technical design of her signature shoe, providing feedback on cushioning systems, traction patterns, and structural support tailored to her playing style. Clark has described testing dozens of prototypes, collaborating on technology that Nike has never previously deployed in a basketball shoe. The company's most experienced teams, the same ones responsible for historic signature lines, are reportedly assigned to her project. Executives are said to be personally involved in feedback sessions, a level of attention reserved only for athletes Nike considers generational. The timing is impossible to ignore, as investigators comb through years of internal decisions.
You think if these allegations are happening at the base level, the hiring level, the training level, the promotion level, it's not happening at the marketing level, it's not happening at the, okay, well, she might be the biggest star, but DEI initiative, we got to put this person in front instead. Up, DEI initiative, we got to put this shoe at the back burner and put this shoe at the forefront. Up, DEI initiative, we can't waste our resources making a commercial for the biggest star. We can't do that. We have.
While federal Nike suddenly appears eager to demonstrate a merit-based, performance-driven approach to athlete promotion. Clark's project has reportedly received expanded budgets, accelerated manufacturing timelines, and priority placement across marketing and retail channels. In business terms, this looked less like coincidence and more like a course correction. At the same time, the contrast in consumer response Nike executives between different signature lines has become impossible to deny. A'ja Wilson's shoe launched months ago with significant promotional backing, professional photo shoots, social media campaigns, and prime shelf space in major sporting goods stores. On paper, it had everything needed for success. But as industry analysts note, widespread availability weeks after launch often signals weak demand in the sneaker world. Discounts began appearing, shelf space shrank, and marketing quietly cooled. Retail patterns don't lie. When a shoe sells, it disappears. When it doesn't, it ends up on clearance racks. Meanwhile, Clark's unreleased line is already generating more pre-launch interest than most women's basketball products have ever seen.
I believe that Caitlin Clark signed on with Nike, and I had a feeling that when Nike signed her, they were like, oh, full steam ahead. We're going to market the shit out of Caitlin Clark, yada, yada, yada. And then I believe these comments happened from what was, at the time, their biggest marketable women's basketball star, A'ja Wilson. Remember right before Caitlin Clark came into the league? All right, she gave an interview talking about A'ja Wilson with the AP in 2024, and she was talking about race and marketability.
Unprecedented Clark revealed on the new industry insiders predict sellouts within minutes of release. Even before her official launch, Clark-themed colorways have become some of the most worn designs on professional courts. This isn't about awards or resumes anymore. It's about connection. Fans respond to authenticity, humility, and competitiveness. Clark's public persona is calm, team-focused, and grounded. She credits teammates, embraces pressure, and avoids unnecessary...
Were you super involved in that process as well?
Yeah, for sure. And obviously I'm pretty picky about what I wear. I like a certain 2 Kobe models. So I knew whatever I was going to put in my own shoe, it needed to be the equivalent of that technology or even better. And it's going to be even better. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I think it'll get people excited about it. And I think even the Chinese market, I was talking to some people at Nike, over in China, they'll cut open the inside of the Kobe's and like show people the technology that's on the inside of the shoe, because they're like, that means a lot to them. Like they want to know what they're getting out of the product.
Right.
Wow.
So I thought that was like really fascinating.
Cut that open?